You know what's funny? I'm a really smart woman, and I say that for a specific reason. I'm trying to get my tripod, but then I remember that my tripod snapped on me, unfortunately. Let me turn the stove off because I'm going to record this, upload this immediately because this is on my heart. So I did a video about being misunderstood. And it doesn't matter if people understand you. Some of us have enough energy to, explain ourselves, defend ourselves, get people to understand us, right? Sometimes we have that energy to do that, and then sometimes we don't. And it could depend on a myriad of circumstances. It could be, one, we don't know the person that we're trying to explain ourselves to, and they don't know us. Two, it could be the method of communication. It could be, in this instance that inspired this subject, it was a live where the commenter usually is in the position of inferiority. Can't fully get their point across because they're texting versus someone who's speaking live. Anyway, so I'm bringing this up for a reason, and it's teachable. I said, instead of me complaining about something, let me just express and get a lesson out of it, because that's the kind of person that I am. I like to, sometimes I might take things personally or take things to heart, or I feel some type of way, or I feel misunderstood. And it doesn't feel good to feel misunderstood, but it also sometimes doesn't feel good to waste your breath and try and get someone to understand you as well. But with me being an open person that I am, I've actually grown a lot stronger because I am open about what's on my heart and what bothers me and the things that I see in the world and my perspective, which I admit is only my perspective. So let me rewind. A therapist that has been very powerful and influential in my life deeply offended me, and, it is what it is. But in the same breath, I see so many lessons he's given me. He's given me so many good lessons, and I think that it was my time to not have that therapist anymore, because I kept having so many reactions to things that would happen. And I was on emotional extremes with it. So it's like, I feel like I'm starting to take a break. But anyway, with this therapist in particular, he said something so powerful. I had mentioned how a friend had said something about me, and then I said, I don't see why people say, because it's a common thing that people say about me. I don't understand why people say this about me, because it's not true. And that's the thing. He challenged it. He said, okay, well, what do you think about it? What do you think? Do you think that you're XYZ? I'm not going to say what that person said, but they gave me an adjective, and it's a positive thing. It's just something that I don't think I am. I don't think I fully am. And that dug up some huge dirt that created a conflict between me and this therapist, unfortunately, even though initially it had nothing to do with him. But it's just the way that I am in relationships in general, which God is making me I'm a work in progress. Can't even talk. So anyway, to get to the point, the powerful thing that I took from that was, I don't have to believe everything people speak over me. And I think about how young girls, they believe what they hear naively. And sometimes I am that young girl, and I might even have pride about it, because that's the kind of person I am. I get prideful, and I'm like, no, I know what I am, and you're not going to tell me. But low-key, I'm still taking it to heart, almost as if I believe it. My mouth and my face might say one thing, my reaction might not act like it doesn't receive it, but deep down inside, I actually receive what that person says about me, and I make it mean something. But ultimately, You create the meaning behind words because you are the receiver of what people say about you. And if you are the subject, you get to decide. If you are the subject of the conversation, you get to decide if you are wearing that or not, what people say about you. So I just wanted to share that reminder that what people speak over you, you don't have to receive that. And it doesn't mean you have to get defensive or angry or over-explain yourself as well, because that's another amount of effort that you have to go through. And some of us, we can do well with defending ourselves every time. And some of us, it's just tiring and it's taxing. But what I realize is that somebody might take something you say and and you might say something and then they take it as, oh, that's a confidence issue. But me, in my wiser mind, I'm like, it's not a confidence issue. I think this person is used to telling people that they have confidence issues. In this particular scenario with the live stream, we're not talking about the therapist anymore. They're used to dealing with people who have confidence issues, or, calling out people's confidence issues. For me, it's not about confidence. The comment that I made was more so about trying to understand why I do what I do. And I'm not going to go into detail because I'm just trying to get an overarching thing. But you could use an example of, why do I always go for food that I can't afford, or it's super cheap and it's unhealthy or something like that? Why do I do that? Why I never go for food that's, good on my budget and healthy, Is that really a confidence issue? I don't think so. It's just being an explorative person, wanting to understand, or maybe wanting to practice trying different types of food and seeing what the food is out there. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a confidence issue. And it's really hard for me to believe that someone wants to help or wants to understand others when they don't make an effort to understand what you say, and they automatically make the judgment of what you say, if that makes sense. A lot of people, I realize, don't have the best listening skills. And I've known this since I was a teenager, honestly, because I've always I'm not saying I'm the best listener in the world, but that's definitely a strong skill of mine, especially when I used to be less of a talker. Because when you don't talk and you're somebody that wants to be present in a conversation, then yeah, you're going to be the listener and you're going to be a great listener. But sometimes it can be really hurtful at the end of the day when people aren't willing to give it back. And it's unfortunate. Anyway, this is my expression and for today, and I just wanted to express that just because someone says something about you, it doesn't mean that it's true. And I would also say, take note of the people in your life that are actually legit good listeners. You might not have any in your life. I might have one or two people that are really good listeners in my life. Some therapists are not even the best listeners. No shade. I love therapists. They're great. They are actually miraculous human beings. I'm getting ready to be a therapist, but no one's perfect. And I'm saying human beings wise, take note of the people that are actually good listeners and reflect on why they're good listeners. And also, the next time somebody speaks over you, ask yourself if you actually believe that. Do I believe that what they said about me is true? Because I don't actually have to. I can challenge that, or I can choose to just challenge it, internally. I don't have to speak on it with them, or I can defend myself if I feel led to. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much for watching. And this is Yuna signing off. Annyeong.